Yo, my shirt is a little moist. I just got finished cooking. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Hold on for a second. I gotta turn some more lights on in here. Hold on. Yo. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I did. Yes, we are. Tony Tone. Mm-hmm. Hello, Jillian. Trav, what up? Cash, what's up, brother? We are. Yes, sir, we are. Mm-hmm. Steph or OG? Nah, I ain't got nothing on Curry. I can't do nothing with him. He different. Hey, Brandon, I'm gonna stand up for the pure point guard every day. I'm not getting sucked into that Steph Curry. Don't let them suck you into that, because I'm not getting sucked into that. Nah, just because they labeling him as that, get the hell out of here. No. Nope. I got Steph Curry ahead of KD all time. Mm-hmm. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Andrew, what's up, brother? How you doing? Paul George or Clyde Drexler? Drex. I did see the game last night, and a lot of people talk about Steph Curry was unstoppable. We gotta dig a little bit deeper into that, Jillian. We gotta dig a little bit deeper into what happened last night. What up, Mark? How you doing, brother? Um, we gotta dig a little bit deeper into what happened last night. It wasn't just the fact that Steph was unstoppable. We got to figure out what the problem is with the Nets, and what the problem is with the Nets is, I don't know if you guys remember, we had a conversation about this a couple weeks ago when they lost to Miami. And I posed the question, if they would call up Philadelphia, and instead of putting Kyrie Irving on the table and asking for Ben Simmons, why don't you ask for Andre Drummond? The reason why I said that is primarily because of what happened last night. They got destroyed on the backboard again. About a week ago, they played against the Chicago Bulls, who also served them. They got destroyed on the backboard again. This is going to be a problem. And this is going to be a problem going forward, because against the better teams in the league, this is what they're looking at. The better teams in the league have dirty work guys. Brooklyn does not. Everybody wants to live in a nice house. Who's going to clean it up? Everybody wants to drive the nice car. Who's going to change the oil? Who's going to keep it clean? So, no, I didn't, Diego. Hey, Jillian, I want you. This is what I want you to do, Jillian. I want you to take a look at my and I'm not going overboard here. I just want you to take a look at my Niners schedule going forward. Okay, we got Jacksonville, Minnesota. We don't got to play the Rams until the last game of the season. So we got Jacksonville, Minnesota. Let's see. We don't got to play Arizona until later. We have a very favorable schedule. So I just want you to go take a look at our schedule, and we might look like it might be something. Michael, see, that's the problem right there. When they get Kyrie Irving back, scoring is not your problem. The Brooklyn Nets are in they're top 10 in the league in scoring. Scoring is not your problem. This is the same thing that happened last year that you have not addressed. The same thing that happened to Phoenix in the early 2000s. The same thing that happened to Phoenix in the early 2000s, which is that punch drunk boxer mentality, which is, I think that I can hit you more than I can stop you from hitting me. That's not going to work. It's not. It looks good on paper and it looks fun to watch, but it's not going to work going forward, because what's going to happen is you're going to have to stop some people eventually. You're going to have to. And how do you stop people? You're going to have to rebound. You're one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. One of the worst rebounding teams in the league. So they're one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. One of the worst. Why is it so hot in here? What's going on? Top 5 in the league in defensive rating. And right. And they got blown out. And just so you know, I'm glad you mentioned that, Michael. They've gotten blown out by the better teams in the game. Chicago smoked them. Golden State last night smoked them. Miami smoked them. All the better teams in the league have smoked you guys. So I'm not buying that smoke screen of them being in the top 5 in defensive rating. Against the better teams in the league, you've gotten smoked. And this is going to be a problem going forward for you guys. So I didn't even mention Philadelphia destroying them. No, I didn't even mention it. Like I said, the better teams in the game have destroyed them. So I do not like Danny Ainge. No, I don't. It's real easy to say that they got a top 5 defensive rating against Toronto. They've beaten they lost to Charlotte too, by the way, who also has a really good team. Charlotte. You know, the better teams in the game have beaten them. And one of the ingredients for beating them is they've dominated them on the backboard. This is going to be a problem going forward. Just because you was up 2-0 don't mean you was going to win the series. You just was up 2-0. That's all. That doesn't mean that you were going to win the series. I'm tired of hearing that from you dudes. You know who you dudes are? The Brooklyn Nets. You dudes, what you are is you are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the early 2000s. Everything looks good on paper. Until you start stopping teams and until you start rebounding the basketball and doing the dirty work, you're going to be those teams that look good on paper. And in the playoffs, you're going to flame out. That's who you're going to be. Whether you want to hear it or not, that's fact. No, I don't remember that. I found them. I didn't find any Flo highlights, but I did look her up to see who she was, though. I did do that. I did do that. So the Bucks didn't beat them opening night, Jillian. They smoked them. Smoked these dudes. Destroyed them on opening night. Then they got Miami in town a week later. Miami puts a foot to their you know what. Then Chicago serves them. And then last night with Golden State. What I'm not doing is I'm not getting sucked into this. I'm not getting sucked into this hysteria of what they look like on paper. I don't care about that. They smoked you. I stopped watching it when y'all was down by 20 in the middle of the third quarter. I stopped watching, Michael. So you're not selling me Brooklyn. You're just not. You're not selling me Brooklyn. You can laugh all you want, Anthony Rodriguez, because what happened was they showed you guys the door. The notion that Kyrie was hurt or Kyrie got hurt, that's part of the game. And why am I surprised about that? Didn't Kyrie Irving miss wasn't he hurt in the 17 Eastern Conference Championship game? So this is who this dude is. So you ain't selling me that. We smoked them in the preseason. Yeah, you did. And then they smoked you on opening night. MJ emptied it in those two games, man. What are we talking about here? And I think it was the first game. Then he had 49, and then he had 63 against them. Come on, man. What are we talking about? He emptied all of it. Giannis injured Kyrie. Yep, that was his fault. Kyrie came down on Giannis. Giannis stuck his foot out, and he did that on purpose to injure Kyrie. Give me a break, man. Nah, no. Nope. Honestly, Ian, I don't care. That whole crypto thing, I don't care about it. That's not even something that, I know arenas change their names all the time. You know, the Nets used to play in Jersey. It was the Brendan Byrne Arena. It went from the Brendan Byrne Arena to Continental Airlines Arena to now they're in Brooklyn and it's the Barclays Center. So that stuff goes over my head. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody really. The ABA was a lesser league. That's what it was looked at. It wasn't really looked at as that type of league. So, well, the reason why he doesn't do that, Jillian, is because this is James Harden's MO has always been to play himself into shape. That's what he's always done. James Harden is notorious for showing up to camp out of shape. This season, last season wasn't. He's notorious for doing that, for showing up to camp out of shape. He's notorious for that, and he'll play himself into shape. So, is Staples so iconic though? I mean, when I think about Staples Center, is it more iconic than Madison Square Garden? I mean, it's been around for 20 years. Remember, Vivint, was it Vivint Airline? I mean, Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City. It used to be the Delta Center. And it was the Delta Center since that place opened. So it just changed to that. Anthony, why are you trying to sell me on your Brooklyn Nets? If the season ended today, do you think y'all would win the NBA championship? I know the season doesn't end today, but let's talk about this for a second. Let's discuss the Brooklyn Nets. What positive came out of last night for you? What makes you think, as of right now, things stay the same? What makes you think that the Brooklyn Nets could win the NBA championship by the way they're playing right now? I'm interested to hear that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Michael. What makes you? It's not one game. I gave you 4 teams that smoked you guys. 4 good teams. So once again, what makes you think today, with how you guys are playing, if you continue with this group and what you're doing, you could win the NBA championship? I'm interested in your logic in that. Even if Kyrie is healthy, okay, let's put Kyrie in the fold and let's make him healthy. What makes you think that you guys can win the NBA championship how you're playing? Last night was not a blip. Last night is an aberration. And the reason why he got me tight about this is because all of these guys, all they look at when they look at the Brooklyn Nets, all they see is the pretty face in Kevin Durant and James Harden. Who is doing the dirty work? Because that's how you're going to win. Why do you tell me why Milwaukee won the NBA championship last year? Who was the pretty face on their team last year? Who was the pretty face on Milwaukee last season? Who was the pretty face? And you know, it's interesting you say that, Ian, because isn't Greek, didn't he lead the league in rebounding or was second in the league in rebounding, if I'm not mistaken? If I'm not mistaken, Brook Lopez is an all-league defender. Jrue Holiday is an all-league defender. Middleton is a borderline all-league defender, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure that I'm straighten me out if I'm wrong about that. PJ Tucker is one of the better role players in the game. One of the better role players in the game. So I'm asking you, who are those guys on the Brooklyn Nets? We know who the Rolls Royces are. We know who those guys are. Who are the other guys? John, where are we now? Anthony, I'm not buying your Brooklyn Nets. I'm not. I'm just not buying I'm not buying your boys, man. I'm not. I am not buying your boys. You guys look good on paper. You're paper champions. That's what you look like. And I'm not buying your boys. I'm not. I've seen against the better teams in the league, I've seen teams who they look really good. I watched the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2009 season win 66 games. They were trash against the better teams in the league. I'm looking at this Brooklyn Nets team. They are really good. This is a smoke screen. This is a complete smoke screen. I'm not buying it. I'm not. Nothing is proven. That's a fact. Not just taking the champs to game 7, taking them to overtime. All right. They took the champs to overtime. Yes, they did. No, they do not. That's a fact, Wyatt. No, they do not. I was one of those people who I had the Lakers smoke in Detroit. And Detroit, if they played the Lakers 10 times, they would have beat them 9. I'm confident in that. Okay, first of all, she ain't lying. Because nothing is proven yet. You dudes are, on paper, you look great. Yeah, you got dominated on the backboard last night. Why isn't this a topic of conversation? You got dominated minus 15 on the defensive side of the backboard. You know what that means? That means less second chance points for you guys. Not to mention, when you run up on a team like Golden State, which is a really good defensive team, you're going to need second chance opportunities because your first shot's not going to always go in. You got dominated on the defensive backboard last night. Dominated. And this is going to be a problem going forward for you guys because when you see the better teams in the league, like Chicago, like Golden State, like Milwaukee, who's also really good defensively, and you can't rebound on the defensive side of the backboard, this is going to be a problem. Yo, he scored 49 and 63 in the 2 games. Man, he emptied it. You don't just need a rebounder, Michael. You need a dirty work guy. I'm not just talking about just rebounding. You need a dirty work guy. Because that defensive rating, which I'm huge on defensive rating, that is a smoke screen. Because against the better teams in the league, you guys are whack. You guys are whack. That's exactly who she is, John. That's exactly who the Brooklyn Nets are, John. Meanwhile, we are telling you, yo, this chick is foul, B. I mean, she looks beautiful. She always in the freshest outfits. But this is what's going on with her. And it's going to be a problem later if you don't check this chick, B. I see her in this dude face. I see her in that dude face. Meanwhile, you steady telling us, nah, my chick, she ain't like that, man. You see how nice she is. Okay. Okay. Watch. No way that New Orleans is giving Brooklyn Valanciunas. Valanciunas, who, by the way, I am so sick of seeing him in New Orleans. He's wasting away down there. He's 20 and 15 on that squad, and he's wasting away down there. They are so wasting him. He should very well be on Memphis or Brooklyn or not even Philadelphia or Phoenix. Oh, my God, he would be so much better. Instead, he's wasting away down there. Or in New York with the Knicks. I would love Valanciunas in New York. But instead, he's in New Orleans wasting away on that whack unit. ISO Joe was awesome. ISO Joe was awesome. I think he, if I'm not mistaken, he had a stretch where he led the NBA in buzzer beaters. Oh, I would Valanciunas in Dallas. What? Excuse me. That would be great. That would be absolutely awesome for him. In Charlotte, yeah. Man, Chicago already got Valanciunas and Vooch. Cat to Brooklyn. Here you go again. Cat to Brooklyn. What is Cat going to do for you? There's another pretty face. Cat's not the dirty work guy. Where? There's another pretty face. Once again, this is my man John just said to me about us talking to the dude about his chick being foul. That's you though. You the dude that we talking to. And instead of getting rid of her and actually doing some homework on somebody, you're gonna go get another pretty face. We're gonna tell you the same thing about her. That's what you're gonna do. Oh, absolutely. No question about it. They if we brought up that, MJ got outscored by Danny Ainge in 1986 in an elimination game. Even though he had 49 and 63, they would never let James live that down. Never. If James was in an elimination game in the playoffs in the first round and I don't know, he got outscored by JJ Redick, oh, he would get roasted for that. What player do I think could help? I said this before. I don't know, Anthony, if you saw me on TikTok. You want to call up Philadelphia and you want to ask for Ben Simmons. Ask for Andre Drummond. That's who you should ask for. Call up New Orleans and ask for Valanciunas. Call up Utah and ask for Whiteside. That's what I'm saying. Call up Utah. Ask for Whiteside. Call up Philadelphia and ask for Drummond. Guys like that. Yeah. Who is Brooklyn giving up for Big V? Ask for whoever you want. Who do you want outside of Kevin Durant? Outside of Kevin Durant and James Harden? Whoever else, everybody else is available. For Valanciunas? Absolutely. For Andre Drummond? Valanciunas is not on the Clippers. Valanciunas is in New Orleans, wasting away. That's what he's doing. In he's down there wasting away to nothing. The best boxer that I'd ever seen when I could understand the sport of boxing was Lennox Lewis. He was the best that I'd seen. No, it did not. That's correct. Right. They automatically think he with the Clippers. Valanciunas, I think he was part of that trade was he a part of? He was a part of that he's with the Clippers now. He was a part of that Bledsoe trade. Him and they ended up cutting Bledsoe. That's how he ended up with the Clippers. And it was a salary dump. That's why they did it. That's it right there. Mm-hmm. And that's why it was for salary. Well, Sean, I got the Nuggets. I had them before the season started. I had them third in the Western Conference. So I had them behind Utah and the Lakers before the season started. That's where I had them at. And I'm not 100% against that neither. I'm not. I'm not jumping. What I'm not doing is I'm not jumping off the cliff looking at Brooklyn. Yo, Brooklyn sucks. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I've seen this team against the better teams. And you guys are looking at Brooklyn and you're looking at Kevin Durant and you're looking at James Harden. And when Kyrie Irving gets back, that stuff is a smoke screen. If you're trying to win it, you're going to run into these other teams that do the stuff that you don't do. And the fact that you can score the basketball, that's not going to be enough. It's not. I have adjusted my take on Chicago. I had them. I know, and again, I know it's early, but I had Chicago at 7. I had them at 7 or 8 to start the season. And the reason why I had them that is because how tough the Eastern Conference is. But my question with the Bulls was their ability to defend. That's what I was looking at the most with them. I wasn't looking at anything else but their ability to defend. And they've proven thus far that they could defend. And if they continue to play defense like this, if they can continue to defend like this, they're going to be a problem in the Eastern Conference. GAA League. That's ain't that in the South? GAA. I think that's in the South. I think that's a division. Is it? I think it's a Division 2 or Division 3 league. I think it's in the South. I think so. You said the Wizards gave the Nets 149 last year. What about the 145 that Cleveland put on them? Or was it 150 that Cleveland put on them and beat them? Mm-hmm. Caruso, Lonzo, Mar, Pat Williams. So that'd be the last. Well, actually, it wasn't because DeMar isn't known to be a defender. Lonzo was a solid defender. Caruso, yeah, and Pat Williams, he was still unproven. So, man, I didn't know what I was looking at with that group. I just didn't. What's up, Brian? How you doing, brother? If Kyrie doesn't want to come back, who would teams would trade for him? Well, why would any team trade for him? I'll take the Warriors tomorrow against Cleveland because Mobley out the lineup. Mobley's going to be out of the lineup for a month. That's huge for them. So, basketball tryouts is next week. Go get them, yo. Go get them. You ready? You've been working on your game all summer. You've been working on your game all summer and all year long up until this point. So go show them what you got. Where does Joe Dumars rank currently? I don't know. That's a good. I don't think he's a top 50 player. Is he? I don't know if he's top 75. I couldn't really tell, Mark. And the reason why I couldn't tell is because San Antonio was so bad. So I couldn't really tell what kind of defender DeMar was because San Antonio was so bad, not just defensively as a team. They were bad overall. So if Joe Dumars played today, I think that he would be. Let's see here. Joe Dumars. That's he's Drew Holiday, except a better offensive player. That's who Joe Dumars is. He Drew Holiday, except a better offensive player. It's not a panic train, Michael. That's what you need to understand. The problem that we're having is that this is an aberration against the better teams in the league. You don't fare well. You just don't. I would take Joe Dumars before I took Kyrie Irving. Charlie, my biggest issue with the top 75 was Alex English. Outside of Dwight Howard, Alex English. So, what's up, Crazy? How you doing, brother? Right, Tony. There'd be no reason to trade for Kyrie Irving if he's not going to play. So he was shooting over 40% last year too. And if he wasn't shooting 40%, Mag, he was shooting close to 40%. His long ball has improved tremendously. I'd like to see him pass it at a higher clip. I'd like to see that. But his overall game it's vastly improved. No question about it. It's obvious he's been in the lab, no doubt. Wyatt, all I'm going to say is just take a look at our schedule for the rest of the season. We got a very favorable schedule. That's all I'm going to say about that. We got Jacksonville this weekend. We should beat them. We got Minnesota coming up. I think we should beat them too. I got to take a look at our schedule and what it looks like. As a matter of fact, give me a second. Give me 1 second. I'll show you right now what our schedule looks like coming up. I apologize. Let's see here. Jacksonville, Minnesota, Seattle, Cincinnati, Atlanta, Tennessee, Houston. I think we can win 4 of those next 5 games. I think Dwayne Wade is a better overall player than James Harden. Oh, they absolutely. Not only do they own us in Seattle. So which means we do to win one. We do to win up there. I can't remember the last time we beat them. I think we beat them in 16. I can't remember the last time we beat them. Not just I can't remember the last time we beat them. I can't remember the last time we beat them in Seattle. I don't think much of Josh Giddey. I don't think that he's whack, but he's just a young player who's trying to find his way, I think. Teams that we're not talking about right now that could go far in the playoffs that we ain't talking about. Let's see. Phoenix. I think Phoenix looks like they can make some real noise. We haven't really talked much about Phoenix. I'm not sold on Washington. I know what I'm seeing early, and I've said this before, and I absolutely want to have this conversation with you again about the Washington Wizards. I want to have this conversation again in 2 months. I do. I want to have this conversation with you again before the All-Star break about the Washington Wizards. I absolutely do. Nah, Dylan, I'm not sold on the Hawks. And the reason why I'm not sold on the Hawks is because they're not sneaking up on nobody. That's why we're not paying attention to them, because they're not sneaking up on nobody like they did last year. I mean, last year, if you and I would have had this conversation and I would have said to you, yo, I got the Atlanta Hawks. I think they're good enough to make it to the Eastern Conference Championship. You would have been like, man, well, what it is, it's me saying, yo, I think that Toronto can make it to the Eastern Conference Championship this year. You'd be like, man, get the hell out of here. This dude is a clown. He don't know what he's talking about. So, (26-21). So 3 seasons ago, that was the year we went to the Super Bowl, by the way. Let's make sure we clear on that. And that was the last game of the regular season when we beat them. That was the year we went to the Super Bowl. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Not at all would that surprise me. Nope. OG, my friends asked, what do you think his GOAT rank current? He loved him for some reason. I don't know what you mean. Who the Hornets play tonight? Let me find out. Let's see. Who the Hornets got tonight? Let me find out. 1 second. We can get right to this. Oh, they got Washington tonight. Okay. Yeah, they got Washington tonight. I see it. That should be a good one. Yeah. That should be a really good one. DeMarcus and AD would not have been the best for you. You ever heard of the Boston Celtics with Bird, McHale, and Parrish? You ever heard of that front court? Well, crazy game, and I can't go with that. And the reason why I can't go with that is because they've proven, the Warriors have proven in the past, even before they got KD, that they can make deep runs in the playoffs. They've proven that. And this team that's currently rolling right now, they remind me of that 14-15 team that won the NBA championship. They remind me a lot of that team, a lot. Your roommate is saying that Montana would be a nobody without Jerry Rice. Yeah, and you can say that about every great player, man. Every great player could be a nobody without this person. Every great player could be a nobody without that person. Just let's make sure we clear. You talk how good you think Tom Brady would be without Gronk. I mean, he did have Gronk for 8 years before he came down to Tampa. Let's not make it look like, Gronk just showed up 2 or 3 years ago. He had him for 8 years. Or was it 9 seasons? So, and Gronk is arguably the best tight end in NFL history. Mm-hmm. Ben, here's the problem with your Houston Rockets. Your Houston Rockets are young. You have to establish who your franchise player is. That's what we have to do first. You got to establish that. You guys are miles away from anything because you have no identity. So I do think that, Jillian. Yes, I do. And the reason why that's looking like that's going to happen this year is because that offense looks like it's changed in Dallas. Luka is now more of a distributor and a playmaker. What he has to do is he's got to translate that into the playoffs, because in the playoffs, he's not that. He's averaging like 35 a game. And that doesn't work when you get into the playoffs if you're not involving other people. And it looks like he's trying to do that. And then I think that's going to be the difference. Hang on for a second. Where does Isaiah Thomas rank currently? He says that it is. In today's game, Isaiah Thomas would be a top 10 point guard. Absolutely, he would. No doubt about it. He would definitely be one of the better point guards in the game today. No doubt. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I don't think James Harden is washed. I don't think that. But I think that when I think about how James Harden's game has been hampered and the fact that him not taking care of his body is starting to catch up to him, it's starting to look bad. So he's a better pure point guard than Steph Curry. No doubt about that. Those Adidas were terrible. I hated those Adidas, Wyatt. I'm not an Adidas guy, and I'm not an Adidas guy specifically because of that. I hated those Adidas, man. Those were terrible, absolutely terrible. It was like those were like boots. Yeah, they were definitely like boots. I do think that they moved Sexton. And absolutely. I would not be surprised if Sexton were traded before the season, before the All-Star, not before the All-Star break, I'm sorry, before the trade deadline. I would not be surprised if he was traded before then. Because the group that they have, it looks like they're building it around Mobley. Garland and Mobley look like they're going to be the guys. Now, Okoro is your defender. Markin is your wing. Allen is your rim protector. And you can probably get something good for Sexton. So I would not be surprised if he got dealt. Now, the problem with Michael is Michael sees the pretty face and he wants Kevin Durant and he wants Kyrie Irving because he looking at his group, and as a Nets fan, he feels like he's getting shortchanged because Kyrie Irving isn't healthy. Like that's going to be the answer, and it's not, man. That's not the answer. You have a glaring, gaping hole that you do not want to address. You don't want to address it. You have to tell the pretty girl that this dress that she got on, you got to tell the pretty girl that this dress she got on got a hole in it. You can't send her out looking like that. And Michael, you're doing that because you think that because she looks so good that it'll completely mask this huge hole in the back of her dress. Hardaway was nice with the pill, super nice. No, I don't, to be honest with you. I actually, when I think about, and I said this 215, I said this a while ago that I thought James was done winning championships. What's up, Jaime? Jamie, how are you? I wouldn't be surprised if he got back, but I think that after the one, before they won it in the 1920 season, I was like, I think he's got one more in him. I don't see them winning. I don't see him winning it again. That doesn't mean he's not going to. So there's a village missing its idiot. Well, what would KD look like if he? What would the Warriors look like if KD was still on that roster? If KD was still on that roster today, what would they look like? My favorite hoop shoe, Ian, was the Jordan 6. The Jordan 6 or the Fab 5 in 93. Those were my favorite shoes to play in. They the best. They looking like the best team right now. If Garland for MIP, no, I think that award goes to as of right now. I think that award goes to Ja. Mm-hmm. I think that award goes to Ja Morant. Either Ja Morant or Tyler Hero. You can make that case for both of those guys. Because Tyler Hero, as of right now, he looks like he's going to win the Sixth Man of the Year. Roger, you think people who have never been in a relationship in their life by the age of like 20 should just give up completely and stay single? No, absolutely not. I was 17. I was 17 when I met my first girlfriend. I was a senior in high school. So I was almost 18 when I got a girlfriend for the first time. So no, I wouldn't at 20 years old. I mean, you still ridiculously young. And yeah, I am. I will be in. Um, yeah, I wouldn't give up on that. No. Hmm. I just think that the Bucks are, as of right now, they victims of the same thing that they were fortunate of last year, which is injury. No Middleton, no Lopez. Drew Holiday's been in and out the lineup. Um, Giannis been in and out the lineup. So I think once this group, I think they're ninth right now in the East. Yeah, and once this group gets together and they can get some continuity, I think they're going to be a lot better. Bobby Portis, I think he just got back in the lineup not too long ago. So, yep, Divinchenko, he still hasn't been in the lineup. I don't know if I said his name right. Nobody's discounting injury, Michael. Nobody is discounting injury. I don't. That's not Kyrie Irving being hurt is a problem. Only except he's not hurt. This is something completely different here. And bringing Kyrie Irving back. If Kyrie Irving said today, hang on for a second. Thanks, Gabriel. Appreciate it, brother. If Kyrie Irving decided today, I'm going to go get vaccinated, and in the process of him going to get vaccinated, he came back to the Brooklyn Nets. Do you think that would solve all your problems? You think that you guys will be at the top of the Eastern Conference again? DiVincenzo. Okay. What did I say? DiVincenzo? I don't think that, Michael. I think you're wrong. I think you're completely wrong. And the reason why I think that is the same reason why it wasn't last year. You had to deal with the same thing last year. KD played, what, half the season? James Harden got banged up. So that's something that's going to be a problem. You just looking at your team being stacked, quote unquote. You're looking at your team being stacked, and that just automatically pushes you guys over the top. And it's not. That's not going to happen. You have glaring holes on your team, and you think that all you guys got to do is get Irving back, and you're going to score the basketball, and everything's going to be great. No, it's not. Because you can't stop nobody. I'm talking about the better teams in the league. I didn't. 215. Running good, Cam. How you doing, brother? Well, when I think about what Stephen A. said about Stephen A. said it earlier today that Stephen A. is animated. That's who he is. He's an animated guy. But there is a level of betrayal that we're at. You know, I came to Brooklyn because of you. Why is Kevin Durant in Brooklyn? Why is he there? What is he doing in Brooklyn? He came to Brooklyn to get with Irv. That's why he's there. If I'm not mistaken, straighten me out. He didn't come to Brooklyn because he wanted to live in New York, just because he came to Brooklyn primarily because of Irv. Now, this nonsense is going on. This is a problem. One that, had he known this, I doubt very seriously that he would have came to Brooklyn. I doubt very seriously that he would have came to Brooklyn had he known this. So what would the Nets be like with Bill Laimbeer? Well, they would have a dirty work guy. They would have a better rebounder. They would have some toughness. Well, nobody knew that. That's not the issue. The issue is that Kyrie Irving is problematic. He's always been problematic. He's been problematic since he left James in 2017. He's been problematic. That's who he is. And I can't say with 100% certainty that had Kevin Durant known that he was this problematic, that he wouldn't have stayed in Golden State. And he's right, Jillian. You can't just throw guys together and expect it to work. And the reason why Charles is saying that is because he knows from firsthand information when he got with Scottie Pippen and Hakeem Olajuwon. Can't just expect this thing to work. Well, the bad boy Pistons, they were bad for the league back in the 80s. That's why they got ousted the way they did. Even though the Knicks were playing like that too. But with that being said, right? With that being said, it took away from how good the Pistons actually were. They had a damn good team, man. They had a really good team. Robert Archibald. Why does that name sound familiar? I remember when Charles was when that beat up 76ers team when he averaged 28. And he had my high school teammates. Yeah, they were bad. He said that they were bad too. Any team Irvin is on almost always pushes the knucklehead quotient too high. Oh, Nate Archibald, yeah. Tiny Archibald was something different. Mm-hmm. What's up, Mr. Jackson? How you doing, brother? No, it's not. It's not the look that the league wants. No, the league does not want to see that. I mean, because Jordan was on that trajectory of being the next superstar, and the Pistons threw him. They were throwing a monkey wrench in that. Not only were they throwing a monkey wrench in that, who is this team from Detroit? There was the Boston Celtics, who were rich in history. There was the Los Angeles Lakers, who were glamorous. There were the Philadelphia 76ers, who were classy with Doc. And then there's this team from Detroit. Who the hell are these guys? And then they're coming in with their brass style, and it's taken away from actually how good they are. But, they just coming in here and they knocking guys around. We're like, what the hell? No, we can't have this. And then there's this aerial attack in Jordan, who looks like he's going to be the next thing, only except the Pistons just threw a monkey wrench in that. A monkey wrench in that. Like, nah, we're not going to have that. I did too, Andrew. I did too. In sports, there is nothing that I enjoyed more. I can't say that there's anything that I enjoyed more in sports outside of watching my 49ers win the Super Bowl in back-to-back seasons, watching my Mets win the World Series in 86 when I was a kid. I can't say that there's anything in sports that I enjoyed more than watching the Bulls mop the floor with the Pistons in 91 in the East Finals. I loved every minute of that. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, no doubt. No doubt. Andrew Karolinko was really good. That team made the Western Conference Finals. And that was a damn good team. Really good team. So, no doubt about that. But I'm going to go catch this this Washington game. So I'm on to TikTok tonight. I'll be on TikTok tonight at 8:00. So I'm gonna wrap this up. What's today? Today's Wednesday. I'll probably see you guys. If I don't see you guys again tomorrow night, I'll definitely see you on Saturday. Yeah. If I don't see you tomorrow night, I'll see you this weekend. So until then, it's a pleasure, man. It's always a pleasure to get with you guys. It's always a pleasure to get with you guys. And like I said, I couldn't get with y'all last week because I was a little under the weather. I'm good now, though. So yeah, I'm gonna be on TikTok in an hour, and hopefully I'll see you there. But if not, like I said, I'll be back on here this weekend, and we'll get together then. So until then, take it light, but take it.